Hey everybody, just a disclaimer, today's show is on a more serious note. So as far back as I can remember, I loved to tear stuff apart and see how it works, but I never actually knew what it was, or what was what, until I met my Uncle Donnie. When I was about 9 years old, I met this man who looked like a crazy hermit. He lived in the basement at my grandmother's house and chain smoked while he constantly worked away on his computers and projects, soldering and wiring stuff. He taught me about the internet and how linking computers together could render more power, but I never fully understood what he was talking about. I just got to see the insides of stuff and I liked it. That Christmas, he gave me a Texas Instruments computer, an old TI 99-4A. It had no storage, no memory cards, no nothing. It was just a keyboard thing that was part keyboard, part computer, and you hooked it up to the TV. I asked him if I could play games on it, and he said sure, as he handed me 2 thick books. My reaction was, what the fuck is this? Now I have to read? Merry Christmas. He said, read those books and you'll learn how to program games. Confused, I started to read the books, and I learned how to program games in BASIC. Now for those of you who don't know BASIC, it's a language for computers to tell them what to do. Like C or C Sharp or C plus or C plus plus or Java or... Okay, that went on too long. Then he taught me about DOS and Windows systems and even a little bit of Linux. Now I can remember going over to my grandmother's and running down to the basement to tell him what I learned. And he would give me tips and shortcuts and advice on different tech. So some time passed and my grandmother passed away. After that I didn't see him much. And more time passed and I find out that he's sick. He has cancer, and it's really taken a toll on him. So I visit him with my stepdad, who's his brother, and at this point he's living in a trailer that's full of boxes. He has a pathway to get to his desk and his bed, to the futon, to the kitchen, to the bathroom. So while we were at his house, my stepdad needed to work on some plumbing stuff he was having problems with, so I took him to the laundromat. And he told me some of the sad realities that he was dealing with and that he was facing. And I kind of thought maybe it might be the last time I talked to him. So I thanked him for all he taught me. And I told him that I appreciated all of it. And he just sat there for a minute. And then he looked up at me with a big old smile. And he said to me, you know, I feel like tacos. I'm going over to the Mexican place. I haven't had a good taco since I was in Texas. I just laughed and sat there thinking, after saying all that stuff, maybe he's not really that much of a sentimental guy. But I'm still glad I got to tell him how I felt and how much he meant to me. He passed about a month later. So I went to his trailer to collect some of the things of his. Apparently he had some computer stuff that he wanted me to take, but nothing could prepare me for what I saw. There were multiple laptops, multiple tablets. There was just parts still in boxes, fabricated computer parts. I packed a few boxes worth of tech as I sat there talking to my stepdad, who was his brother. And I learned a bit about him that I didn't even know. This man worked for the highest branches of government, NASA, the CIA, possibly the FBI, even worked on top secret government projects. Now I'm not super religious, but if you are, please don't be offended by the analogy. It's like meeting Jesus and being like, oh yeah, Jesus, he's the crazy looking guy with the beard and the hair, and being like, oh yeah, you know, he's nothing special, right? But then he dies, and you find out all about him, and you admire him, even wish you could be closer to him. I loved him and all that he did, but I hate the fact that I didn't know him better. And that's how I end this episode. I'll see you guys next week.